Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen and survivors, and welcome to the top 10 tips in Scum. I want to give you the top 10 tips in Scum to make your gameplay easier, and a few of the tips will include the loot changes that they've made with the 0.85 update. The first tip will take a bit of time, but I feel it's very, very important to get this point across. I have watched a lot of my players on hardcore servers, and the one difference that I see between a player that dies very quickly and repeatedly and a player that doesn't die quickly and lives, it's very difficult for him to die, is the players that follow my ABC steps when they spawn. First of all, they do craft the axe, they do craft the bow, they do craft the quiver and the backpack and the arrows, okay? The arrows protects them against puppets because the arrows kills puppets very, very quickly. And the axe can protect them against players as well, but the bow can too. And then not a lot of players craft this, but the club with nails is also a very, very handy tool. So after the first tip, we will go through the tips a lot quicker. Hopefully I can keep the video under 20 minutes. But I will be explaining things in depth on tip number 1 because it's crucial for your survival. So here I want to show you guys why your starting gear is so important, but I also want to show you why tactical armor and the good helmet is important as well. So this looks very funny when you look at Dulce is with me here on the test server. And this looks very funny because he's got 4 arrows in him, but he's taking 0 damage, guys.
Yep, 0. The bleeding, I see one bleed, just resets stabilization. It doesn't even untreat. Like it's
Then I'm trying to shoot him in the throat.
nothing.
Okay, so tactical armor and a helmet will save your life against the bow. Okay, a few of my players have said that they died to arrows, but what I think the problem is that they are wearing a bulletproof vest. So if I spawn in a bulletproof vest now, either they're wearing a bulletproof vest or they're not wearing any armor at all. So I'm going to spawn him in a bulletproof vest, and I want you guys to notice something quickly. Put on the bulletproof.
Yeah.
Look at his throat. Look at his throat. How much cover he has on his throat. And now, look at how much cover he's got on his throat.
Oh, I'm dead. Look at that.
Okay. So, with the tactical armor on, I tried to shoot him on the neck. You guys saw that I shot him in the side of the neck. But because the tactical armor covers so much ground, or so much of your body, it's very, very difficult to get a kill shot. But with a bulletproof vest, because there's so much open here, if a person aims for your head and the bullet drop lets him hit you anywhere in the throat area, you're going to die immediately. So what I'm trying to tell you is with a bow, you can still kill a fully geared player unless he's wearing tactical armor. And there he goes.
Oh my word.
Okay.
It worked.
So now he can put on the tactical and the helmet again. So what I've shown you guys is you can kill a fully geared player with an AK as long as you get the first shot in. You can kill a fully geared player with a bow. So the basic bow that I tell you to craft in the beginning of my tutorials is extremely important. Now, if he does have this, which makes it very difficult, then, what's your health at, Dills?
51.
Okay,
52.
your health is quite low. Okay, what I'm going to show you now when his health gets full, guys, is I'm going to shoot him in the leg. He's going to try and run, okay, because clearly if you can shoot a player without him seeing you, then he's going to try and, run or try and spot you. And then we're going to see how many shots you must give a player in the leg to kill him. And then after that, I'm just going, because I'm not going to kill him again. I'm going to shoot him in the leg once. He's going to start limping. We're going to see how much damage the arrow did. And if the arrow did at least about 50% damage, then we know how many shots it will take to kill him if we shoot him in the legs, because you don't have any armor for your legs. And then I'm going to hit him with a club and an axe to give you the options. It's very difficult to get close to a player if he's got a very, very big rifle. But if you're in a bunker or in a house or in a closed environment, you can get close to a player. Like if I see a player down a hall in a bunker and I've just got a club with me and he aims at me, I go into a room, I make sure he saw that I can't defend myself, he rushes me, okay, I stand behind the door or something, and then when he comes into the room, I try and knock him out, okay? So what is your health now, Dils?
100.
100, okay, once in the leg, and you just try and run right after that?
61 health. Limping.
61 health, okay? So you're basically going to have to shoot him 3 times in the leg, which will take about 3 shots. But, I mean, you can kill a player, and you can definitely damage him, okay? So try and aim, when you aim a bow, try and aim for underneath the chin.
Oh, well done. How did that work now?
Okay, so underneath the chin works, guys. Underneath the chin is the kill shot, okay? I'm gonna spawn
Gotta be really small because we started the video with arrows in my chin.
Yeah, I shot you. I shot you. I shot you everywhere. I shot you absolutely everywhere. But this just proves my point that a bow can, a bow can be lethal. Now that we know a bow can be lethal, we don't need to worry about wondering if a bow is lethal. And of course, it's the arrow that I'm using as well. So you can go buy broadhead carbon arrows, and I promise you, you will be able to kill a player with 2 shots, okay? So if your arrows are of a higher quality, like metal arrows, when you craft metal arrows, or you buy the carbon broadhead arrows, then you can kill a player with two arrows, and it only costs you like $100 at the trader, or you can find it at the castle, or you can find it at the hunting shops in the big city. Okay, so you can get lethal with a bow quite quickly. And now, those you can stand up. I'm just going to show you the power of an axe versus a club. I'm sure I won't kill you, buddy. I'm just going to see if I can knock you out.
I'm already full.
Okay. How much health?
Nothing.
No health.
No.
Okay, so now we can kill him. If I hit him in the legs now or something, I can kill him. And then the club, I did no damage to you with the axe, eh?
Yeah, 0.
Okay, so that's the club.
That's 3 damage.
Now I can...
Beat his legs.
Yeah, you can beat his legs. And you can knock him out multiple times. Okay? Of course, you're going to need some luck with the knocking out, and I'm probably dead by now. But what I'm trying to tell you is he's got maximum armor on. So 2 very important things here. The K6 helmet and the tactical vest will save your life a lot more than you realize. And if someone's too lazy to wear the tactical because they prefer the bulletproof or they want to look nice, you will kill them immediately. So remember that. And of course, with when you wear a hiking backpack, as soon as someone shoots at you and you don't have any way to defend yourself, and you want to, like, someone shooting at me and the bush is quite far away from me, I have to turn my back on him directly if I've got a hiking backpack on, because the hiking backpack is even going to give you more protection above the tactical jacket and the helmet. So the 2 very important things here is, this armor is a must. I don't care if you get tired fast. This armor will save your life. And then a bow and your starting gear can save your life, okay? And even though he's fully frigging bombed, where did he disappear now? Okay. You can still kill him, okay? It will take some luck, but you can still kill him. So I hope you guys appreciate tip number 1. Tip number 2 is police stations are extremely important in the beginning of your journey for the plain and simple fact that you can get clothing here. But the biggest reason is with the loot rework, backpacks spawn very regularly in police stations. You can search the beds as well, that makes a difference. But as you can see, backpacks are quite common in police stations. You won't always get a hiking backpack. You will get small backpacks most of the time, and then other times you'll get assault, and then other times you'll get hiking backpacks, but very, very important. And then, of course, the lockers can give you clothing and armor and different equipment that you need. But then the lockers are also very, very, very useful because they tend to spawn pistols, and you get like pistol ammo and stuff like that, which can help you to defend yourself very, very quickly. And with a normal gun, if we just add it to the quick slot here, don't think that's the right ammo. Okay, we haven't got the right ammo yet, but with the right gun, you can kill a player very, very quickly, which will make a huge, huge difference. Okay. And then if we just search these lockers over here, and like I say, you can get ammo on the desks and various places. This is a big police station. There you get, there you get another pistol. There you get another pistol and more ammo. Okay, so police stations are very, very useful in the beginning of your game. Tip number 3 is always have some kind of cutting tool on you, like a stone knife or a kitchen knife, not to attack puppets or defend yourself. It's just very useful to have in various situations. And for tip number 3, you need a knife with you and thread and a bone to make a sewing kit. Okay, so when you craft the bone needle down here, that's why you need the knife and the bone, okay? So if you go on the knife and you go on the bone, then you can craft the bone needle. And with the bone needle, if you combine the bone needle with thread or fishing line, you can make thread, which can repair your clothing, which is very, very, very important. So if you combine a bone needle with thread and you craft an improvised sewing kit, it will use half of the thread. And you don't always find thread with 10 uses. A lot of times they'll have 4 uses or 5 uses, which will use up the thread completely. But if we just spawn in another bone needle here, if you use the fishing line to make the sewing kit, it won't remove so many uses from the fishing line. So it's a better option, and your gear will get damaged for various reasons. Getting hit by a suicide puppet, a sentry, a player, as you can see. Okay, 5 uses as well. Okay, but the secret is that you can use fishing line and thread, and fishing line is because of the new update. I think I used a certain kind of fishing line where it used less uses, but I mean, we've had a hot fix as well. So just understand that fishing line and thread is very, very important so that you can repair your armor, and your armor gets damaged due to various reasons. And of course, if you've got basic survival, you can use the thread to craft the 3rd biggest backpack in the game. There you see you need the sewing kit. This backpack, the only 2 backpacks that are bigger than this backpack is the assault backpack and the hiking backpack. And you can craft yourself a compass, and you can craft yourself a weapon holster. There's a lot of things that you can craft with the sewing kit. So it is very, very important in your gameplay. Tip number 4 is always have a bundle of improvised lockpicks on you. The way you do that is you remove the bobby pins, take out bobby pins from the safety pin box, craft the bobby pins into lockpicks, and then craft the bundle of lockpicks. I always like to have a bundle of 10 on me because it doesn't take up any inventory space, and at least have 6 screwdrivers on you because you never know while you're running across the island if a cargo drop lands very, very close to you. And this will help you a lot. If you have to run too far from the car, if the cargo drops too far away from you, when I say too far, let's say the cargo drops here and you don't want to die, don't go for it. But if a cargo drops land within a half a sector of you, run for it, get in and get out. Okay, I'm just going to destroy the puppets here. But run to it, get in and get out, because your biggest danger is the other players. But if you've always got 6 screwdrivers with you, you can close the door if you want to, okay? If you've got 6 bobby pins with you, that will help you a heck of a lot. And I'm just going to change my guard mode here to false so I can show you. So you just uncraft the bundle. I like to do it in the middle here so that I can get to all of them. So I like to stand in the middle so that I can uncraft the bobby pins, that they're in my vicinity. And I know there's 6 lockers, so the 6 screwdrivers are always good for me. Okay, and now you just unlock these 6 lockers quickly, because they can give you what we spoke about. Okay, it's not giving you the K6 helmet, but it's giving you the best armor and the helmet, like I spoke about. It's always worth it going for cargo drops. It's not always worth it to come here with full gear, but if you're under geared, it's always worth it. Okay, always worth it. So we're just gonna see what this specific cargo drop can give us. Here you get an SVD, which is one of the most powerful snipers in the game, okay? Sniper rifles in the game, which is very, very, very good. So like I say, if you think you're risking more than what you can get, you can think about it. But if you're risking nothing, go for it. And speed is important. That's why you don't touch things that won't help you a ton. Like even here, I'm just taking the milk. The milk is very important to me. That I can get anywhere, okay? The milk is rare. So I'm just focusing on rare items so that I can get out of here as fast as possible. There's a claymore, which I can use for my base. And I'm out, okay? You guys can time how long that took, but I'm out and I'm gone. That is tip number 4. Always have a bundle. Oh, I forgot the bobby pins in there, but what you can usually do is I use 6, 4 was left. I can just double click the lockpicks into my inventory, or I can leave. It's very easy for me to find more bobby pin boxes and repeat the same steps. But I always want the bundles on me, because if a cargo drop lands close to me, I don't want to spend time taking out the bobby pins and then crafting the lockpicks. All of that takes time. And the more time you take, the more the chances are that a player can get to the cargo drop while you're still there and kill you. Okay? Tip number 5 is make sure you kill puppets when you can, especially when you've got orange clothing on. And especially if you're suffering from any hand abrasions. Okay? Because puppets can give you screwdrivers sometimes, which will help with those 6 screwdrivers you need for the cargo drop. They can give you pants. Now, this pants has got inventory space, but I'm not using the inventory space. So I can put the puppets pants on, which is giving me 4 slots. But the big thing is, I don't have orange clothing on anymore. And now, because of the sewing kit that we crafted, we can repair these broken pants. And we can still get the 2 slots back. That we can get 3 slots back, okay? And then, of course, all the clothing that you wear gets dirty. So for the future tip, it's good to have clothing on you that doesn't go past 50% dirtiness. Because if it goes past 50% dirtiness, when you cut it up, you can only get dirty rags. Where if you have clean rags, you can use alcohol to make bandages, which can save your life, which we will deal with later. But again, if you're wearing oranges, don't drop the oranges, because at night you will freeze. In the snow biomes, you will freeze. Try and just kill a few puppets. Oh, okay. And then get their clothing from them. Not every puppet will give you the clothing that you need, but you can get different clothing items from them so that you can get out of those oranges and blend into the world a little bit more. Tip number 6 is that you can now use any kind of strong alcohol to clean a wound internally. Okay? So any kind of strong alcohol you can use to clean a wound internally, which will get rid of a lot of wound germs, not the external pathogens. Okay? To get rid of the external pathogens for infections, you can still just use the isopropyl alcohol or the absinthe. Okay, so when I click on a rag, okay, so there is a rag. If I click on the rag and I click on the whatever that is or the whiskey, okay, I cannot disinfect the rag. So I click on the rag and the bottle, right click on the bottle, no disinfect. But when I get to the isopropyl alcohol, I can disinfect the rag. And then when I get to the absinthe, I can disinfect the rag. Okay. Now, the reason that the aseptic rag is so strong is when I get hurt and I apply a normal rag. First of all, it's not clean. It is cleaner than a dirty rag, but it's still at 50% dirtiness, okay? Where a septic rag isn't dirty at all. It was dirty, but now I cleaned it, so it's not dirty, and it has cleaning properties because of the alcohol on it, so it will get rid of my external wounds. But the biggest reason, not only that you're cleaning it, is the durability. If I use normal rags or dirty rags on a wound, instead of filling, let's say, half of the bleeding marker when I apply this rag, it's only going to fill a quarter of the circle when I try and heal myself, because, like I'm talking about this circle, if you use a rag or a dirty rag that's only 37% durability, let's say from this corner to this corner is 100%, then it's only going to fill with 37%. So to fill this circle so that I can stop, like I can bandage the wound completely so it can stop bleeding and stop killing me, I have to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 or 10 rags. But if I use the aseptic rag, the durability plays a major role as well. So in the same scenario, if I use those rags and this bar is 100%, then the first aseptic rag will fill the circle up to here. The second one will fill it up to here, and the third one will complete it, depending on what your medical skill is. Because the higher your medical skill is, the faster you can, the less rags you have to use, or the less bandages you have to use, which means it will complete the circle faster. Okay, so just remember, having alcohol on you is not a bad idea to clean those internal wounds if you've got no other choice. So like if you didn't find isopropyl alcohol or absinthe, then having at least one bottle of whiskey or tequila or something that you find out in the world will at least help you with the wound germs, the internal germs, but it won't help you with the external germs. Okay, so yeah, that's very, very important. Tip number 7 is do not skip hospitals. Okay, we are here at the hospital in B0. Do not skip the hospitals. They can give you a lot of medical equipment, like for instance, vitamin pills, which is much stronger than anything you can really use, because like this vitamin pill pack gives you 0.2 vitamin D, which is usually difficult, but it's basically 0.2 times 14 or times 20. Okay, so if you come to the hospital regularly and collect vitamin pill boxes regularly, you will never struggle with vitamin D or any vitamins or minerals. And then it will give you antibiotics in case you struggle with the infection. It will give you the isopropyl alcohol to clean the wounds. It will give you bandages and tourniquets and everything that will have a major, major effect on saving your life. And then except for that, the hospital and the area around the hospital have got bookshelves that can give you cooking books. Okay, so here are the bookshelves. Okay, you can get cooking books and various equipment in these shelves. So just remember to search these shelves regularly. And at the bottom of the hospital, like lower down, there is a place you can't search every single level here, but at the bottom of the hospital, so there's a bleeding marker. Okay, and I didn't take those bandages with me, or the septic rag. So right here at the bottom, if you run down north, okay, so I'm running north from the big building. There's the big building. I'm running north from the big building. You can get these orange buildings where you can search multiple shelves, like this one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And the loot's just very low now, guys, because I'm playing on a 0.5 loot server at the moment. It's not a vanilla loot, but trust me, you will get a ton of cooking books here, which will help you a heck of a lot. And included in tip 7, if you're struggling with food, then kill an animal. The wolves and bears spawn out in the world naturally, but hunt. I've got a hunting video. If you look at my cooking guide, I show you how to hunt in the beginning of the video. Hunt an animal to get your protein into a good place with a skewer and a fire, and then search that corn search the corn and the potato fields to make the vegetable skewers, because without the carbs in your system, as I'll show you here while I'm running, okay, because I've got no carbs in my system, and at the moment there's a bug but I can fix it with photo mode apparently, Ripley's, believe it or not. Because there's no carbs in my system, you can see that I'm burning through 50 grams per hour, okay, 60. Look at how fast I'm burning through my protein. It's just going up and up and up and up as I'm running, okay? We're nearly at 80 grams per hour. So I'm burning through my protein extremely fast, but if I can, okay, instead of making a skewer, I'm just going to do a potato, okay? But I mean, in the cooking video, you guys will see that with potatoes and corn, you can make the vegetable skewer. And if you add 3 corn or 3 potatoes, it will give you over 100 calories. Where this potato at the moment is probably just going to give me about 33 grams of carbs. Okay, so the skewer just gives you a lot more various things. Now, because I've got a bit of carbs, look at when I run now. Okay, 13 grams per hour, it's not going up. I'm only burning through 13 grams per hour of my protein. The thing is, I'm burning through my carbs now very, very quickly. Okay, so I'm using 130 grams per hour of my carbs, but the carbs is still protecting my protein. So it's very important to getting the vegetables, to getting the carbs to protect your protein, because without protein, you don't level up strength. As soon as you run out of protein, you stop leveling up your strength, so you're wasting time. You're wasting the time that you could have been building up your strength naturally, which takes a long time, but it's better, it's better than not having any protein in your body at all. So that's a very, very big tip. Tip number 8. Bunkers are your best friend these days, and the biggest thing in bunkers is lockers. Not only can bunkers give you extra clothing and backpacks and then weapons when you search these containers. Okay, there we get shotgun ammo. Even remember, I'm on 0.5 loot, guys. So we got shotgun ammo. I'm going to use my guard mode powers here to just open this to see what kind of loot we can get even on a 0.5 loot settings. Okay, there's a pistol holster. Trust me on this, okay? I have made a video of this before. you can get a lot of guns in these lockers. So the lockers are very, very, very worth it. That's tip number 8. Let's move on to tip number 9. Tip number 9 is screwdrivers. Now, you can find screwdrivers all over the world, in garages, in workshops, in cities, in random places. People have found them in churches. In the big city, there are garages that is broken that you have to crouch to get into. I found yellow screwdrivers in there. So if you just loot properly, you will find yellow screwdrivers over time. But the main resource of screwdrivers and toolboxes, because you need toolboxes for your base, or you can waste money and buy them, but this is way cheaper to collect toolboxes. So any place where you find a lot of red toolboxes is a great place to possibly find screwdrivers and toolboxes, okay? Now, we are on it again. We are on a 0.5 loot server because I changed my test server to 0.5 loot for the upcoming server that I'm planning. But the motocross track is one place where you can get a lot of red toolboxes with minimum danger. That is a very, very big point. There's no sentries here. The only danger that you're going to hit here are players. Okay? So there's only one aspect of the game that you have to be careful for here, which is PvP, players. But you can find screwdrivers, you can find toolboxes in these red toolboxes, okay? But not always. But if you loot places regularly that have red toolboxes, you will find a screwdriver and toolboxes at some point. Now, this motocross track is probably one of the safest places. The train yard is quite dangerous, but it has a lot of red toolboxes as well. And then this place has a few the Meg factory you can find red screwdrivers, and then of course at the scrapyard you can find screwdrivers as well. The underground bunker at the military airfield D4 underground, there's a lot of boxes where you can find screwdrivers. You can, again, every town can give you red screwdrivers because there's garages and workshops, okay? Big city is a great place. But if you do focused looting for screwdrivers, you are focusing mostly on the southern part of the map, which will be the motocross track and the train yard, the little airfield in A4, the little airfield in Z0, and then underground by the submarines, you can also get lucky with screwdrivers, okay? But that's a little bit more risky. But to simplify it for you, motocross track, the train yard, and the two little airfields. The one little airfield here in A4 and the other airfield in Z0. And then, everywhere else. But when you're focusing on places that focus on screwdrivers, that's the places that you're looking for. And the final tip, ladies and gentlemen, is the hazmat suit lockers. Now, there are still people that get confused up to today with what locker gives you a gas mask, a potassium, and what locker gives you a hazmat suit and sometimes a uranium container. There is a big difference between the two. And all I want you to focus on, I'm not going to talk about the grills or whatever. When the two radiation symbols are next to the lock, two big radiation symbols next to the lock, that's where you get the suit and sometimes the uranium container. When the two radiation symbols are at the bottom, okay, that's where you get the gas mask and the potassium. And since the latest hotfix, they have allowed almost everyone to be able to get into the power plant quite easily. And the reason I'm saying that is if I spawn in a screwdriver quickly, then you will see that this doesn't have a silver lock anymore, okay? It's got a bronze lock, which is way, way easier to open up than a silver lock. But the fantastic thing is that the reason I'm not showing you the kill box is because we all know the kill boxes are strong. The biggest reason I'm not showing you the the kill box is because you need a special kind of skill to do a kill box. This you can do without any skill, without advanced thievery or something like that. So now they've allowed you to open these lockers with a crowbar. Now, when you've opened up a hazmat suit locker with a crowbar, it will take longer depending on your thievery skill and your strength. So I've got standard strength with no thievery. It took longer, and because it took longer, it damaged the crowbar more, okay? So the crowbar took 29% of damage to open this locker, and all the items inside, the item inside got about 22% of damage. Okay, so I'm just going to drop the milk here quickly. So two things that I want you to start focusing on now that they've given everyone the ability to get a hazmat suit. The first thing I want you to focus on is crowbars. It's very important to keep the crowbars. The second thing that I want you to focus on is to keep your toolboxes, because with the toolbox you can repair a crowbar, which is crucial if you want to keep finding hazmat suits. Hazmat suits still sell for $3,500. So if you never want to go to the power station, it's fine. Still open up the hazmat suit lockers, because it can give you $3,500, which is really, really good money. And the reason I want you to collect a lot of crowbars is that I'm just going to drop all this loot here, and then we're going to say that you collected about 5 crowbars over time, and that you've repaired the crowbars, okay? And then you did go to the power station. Then you will get to the power plant, okay, at the top of the power plant where you see the smoke coming from, and you will be able to use the crowbars to force open these lockers, okay? Just glitched a little bit there. Okay, so this one is a little bit glitchy. There we go. So it does take 80% of the crowbar, guys. There's a lot of uranium containers down here. So either you're going to have to come here with friends so that, you know, not one person is carrying all the crowbars, because if you get killed, all those crowbars will be stolen. But I mean, you can come here during quiet times as well, when your server is a little bit more low pop. You can go to battlemetrics.com to search for your server. Every server has got times when it's at the lowest pop possible at certain times of the day. So if you have to wake up a little bit earlier or go to sleep a little bit later to come here, just to make your chances a bit less of running into players. But you can still come here with a lot of crowbars, because these are 10 slots, so that's already 10 crowbars, okay? So let's just see, you can carry 10 crowbars if you have 10 there, and then here you can have 2, 4, 6. So you can bring 16 crowbars, and if you've got a military quiver, that's 19, and then in the hazmat suit, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, you can bring a lot of crowbars. Just if you die, you lose a lot of those crowbars. And of course, it's dependent on luck whether you're going to open it up or not. And of course, it's going to damage the uranium a bit, but you're still gonna get money for that uranium. So let me quickly see if I can get 1 uranium, and then meet you guys at the trader. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I finally found a uranium in one of the lockers, and breaking open gives you 73%, okay? And I just want to check something here. We're going to spawn in the toolbox. We're going to spawn in electrician tools. Okay. And I want to spawn in a bigger one. Okay, so we got the repair kit and the electrician tools. So let's see, no repair option there. We can, of course, repair this with duct tape. And no repair option here. Okay, so we can't repair it. So let's see what we would have gotten. And remember, we got the SVD as well. So we must take that into consideration as well. So we're getting 1.5 from the uranium. Okay, so I think this is very, very good for the research that I'm doing. Of course, the suit is going to be the same as the uranium, but the thing is you can't repair the uranium. So getting 2 suits from there is like a guaranteed $4,000. But it is important for me to notice this because it looks like the less players that are on a server, the less you get for the items that you sell. So I have to disable that on all my servers. I think that is extremely unfair for you to get less. It might make sense in some kind of world, but I just feel it's unfair that
all right,
people that only play when a server is full gets almost double. I think the hazmat suit goes for 3.5 or 3.6 when the server is full, and you get much, much less when there's not a lot of players. So I have to disable the JSON file, the economy file, so that it doesn't matter how many players are on a server. I think someone in my community messaged me about that, but I didn't think it was this bad. It is extremely bad. So in any case, you guys are going to get a lot more money on a populated server, okay? So strategically, if you play when the server is at its lowest pop, then it's safer to get the loot, but you must try and sell it when the server is at its fullest, okay? If you're not playing on a server where the economy file has been changed, I will change all my economy files so that the player base doesn't change the prices by this much. But even on an official server, okay, you're still gonna get a lot of money with the few things that we looted.
All right.
So we're gonna sell. That's 10. Trader only had 5,100 funds. Okay, that was 10,000, guys. And then we get 10,500, and then we get 2,700 from that suit, which is weird. Okay, so we would have gotten about 14,000. Yes, I know the trader doesn't have funds. We would have gotten about 14,000 bucks at the end of the day, just with these little steps that I showed you guys that will help you a heck of a lot in your journey. And then the last thing I want to do is just show you guys the vehicles. Okay, that's the last thing I want to show you guys. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the last bonus tip that I want to give you is a big quality of life change in the last hotfix is that you don't need medium engineering. As you guys can see, I've got no engineering, and you don't need a vehicle repair kit to service your vehicle, okay? You can still remove tire wheels. You can still put wheels back on, okay? And you can still remove a battery and put a battery back in. Okay, so no more engineering skill, no more vehicle repair kits. I think they should have still added the fact that you need a vehicle repair kit to do all this work, like how are you taking the wheel off and stuff like that. But in any case, that makes building up vehicles a lot easier. And of course, if you guys haven't watched the last video, you can get wheels at the scrapyard by the tire piles. You can get various wheels for various vehicles. And then batteries is quite easy to find in garages. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and like this video, okay? Click the like button if you found it helpful. And if you want to see and learn everything there is to see and learn about Scum, then click the subscribe button, because a lot of exciting things are going to happen in the future. Cheers.